All right, welcome everyone. If you're watching today, you get double the caster. My name is Robbie. I'm joined by my good buddy Kyle. Today we are at Mercer County Community College. We are going to have a best of 3 gem race. We are going to total the score that the students get. So if you're watching this and you're playing, if you're one of our 2 competitors today, we want to see the maximum amount of gems gathered. You could win 2 of the matches, but end up losing the tournament if you don't gather all the gems.
That's very true, Robbie, and I am very excited to be here with you today. I'm also excited to tell everybody about how they can get involved in Black Rocket eSports. If you see any of the games that we play on our streams here, you can play them at blackrocket.com/esports. You can follow us on our Twitch channel here at twitch.tv/blackrocketllc, or you can catch the highlights if you missed the stream at youtube.com/brpclips and subscribe to us there. We will take a short break while we get our players into our group, and then we will be right back.
Okay, we are back. The first is going to be the draft. Now, Kyle, what I like to see, I said is my personal favorite, is that one-way gate because it becomes so tricky. We haven't seen a lot of players make use of the hammers to actually get rid of those blocks. But I think definitely if Braden or Tommy can remember to use those hammers if they're in a tight spot. We see a lot of overbuilding. I don't know if you remember from last week.
Sure.
But when we get that overbuilding, if you just cut down some of those obstacles, you can find a way very quickly to gem. I would be very happy if I saw some of that today.
I agree, and that's what I want to see too. Is I want to see those players recognize early on what obstacles are giving them a tough spot and use those hammers there.
Right, right.
You don't want to
given to you.
You don't want to use it on the first 3 things you see, of course, because you don't want to get stuck later in the level. But I think that using it to get past that tough spot, that's definitely useful. Robbie, you've been doing this for a little while now. What can you tell me is your favorite? What obstacle do you would really like to see the player? You said one-way gate.
Yeah, definitely.
But I know I'm a big fan of the cannon that shoots the players.
Oh yeah.
I like the
Sure.
the action that brings a little verticality, a little extra verticality to Sembly.
Sure.
Which is great. But we have 6 different levels to choose from as well. Which of those do you really have a preference for?
I do prefer toxic or smog because just because it gives the players a little bit more freedom to move around. I think you have some of the levels with more of the pipes involved, like the jungle or maze, and it restricts movement a little bit. They're less forgiving. Sometimes players really run down a path for a long time to try to find that gem, and then all of a sudden they get there and it's gone. So they can't get there in time. It can pay off if you have the right items, but typically I do like to see the action, especially the jumping. We were talking about the wall jumping earlier before the stream. I think I like to see players that are pretty proficient with that. Toxic is another level that really has that upper area cleared out so players can jump more freely.
Yeah, and actually that wall jumping is actually one of the reasons I personally like the jungle map.
Sure.
I know you said the pipes sometimes can slow players down, but one of the things I've always really liked about those pipes is that players can track where they are a little better throughout the map. So after you let's say you're killed by an obstacle, you can then find your way quickly back just based on easy color coordination. Know which way didn't work for you last time. Hopefully, changing that strategy up. Several events also can happen throughout the game. Obviously, that the players can have voted, and they'll happen at random for them. Of those, which as a spectator is the most interesting for you?
The most interesting is going to be the lights out. So when that happens, I don't know what's going on any more than the players. I can't use my little zoom out ability and just comfortably see the entire map, know where everyone's at.
Sure.
I only see that small circle. So we're going to see if we happen to get that, players can go in and vote for it. Very difficult. We might not see anything. Players can get gems. Players could make mistakes, find new paths. It's pretty difficult because we have no idea what's going on at the same time as the players. It really brings us into the game.
Yeah, I really like when I get to see rotate. I always really like to see the kind of the way that players handle that. You've got your players who the idea of that flipped upside down control doesn't bother them whatsoever. Whereas you got the other players who are like, you know what, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to wait for the opportunity for this to go back to normal. But I think it's those people who can really take advantage of those events that are going to do the best when playing Sembly.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that are going to play it safe. If I get rotate, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, see, no, I'm going for that win.
Going for that win?
That's what I want to see. Yes, I want those gems. I want to see if I can get all of them.
Yeah, if you get 4, I mean, that's it. I don't think we've had anyone this season grab all 4 yet. I don't think I've seen it. I've seen 3. I don't believe I've seen 4. We saw some really good comebacks because the gems move. That's the thing in gem race. That is, I can't stress that enough. You might spend a lot of time clearing out a path and figuring out how to get to the other side of the map. All of a sudden, that gem's in a new location.
No,
you just did that work for almost nothing.
I was gonna say I'm new to gem race.
Sure.
When you say the gems move, do they move with or without a player collecting them? Can it just move on its own?
Yeah, yeah, on its own. That's
wow.
So you see where all the possible locations of the gem can be before the match starts in the building phase, and some people like to build around that, trying to make a strategy for where the gems are going to be, let's say, or where they think they're going to spawn. It's a chance. So they try to build around that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, you can go for a gem. You might not get it, and it might just move to a different place. So you got to be quick, get to the gem, or otherwise wait for it to move.
Now, you may or may not know this. When players can see all those gems, does that guarantee that gem will appear at some point throughout the match?
So no. It is. There's more gems, possible spawning locations than there's only going to be a few per match, depending on how many the players get, how fast they find them. It could be all of them. It could be. I'm not sure if it's going to be more than 8. If a player, it could be 3 to 3, and so possibly. In my experience, I haven't seen it. So you can try to plan for as many gem locations as you can, but at the same time, don't restrict yourself. I think a lot of players get into a trap where they say, okay, I'm going to block off all these gems to make it really hard to get to. They have to get the gems also. So they have to have some way of getting in there. And it looks like our drafting phase just began. So we're going to see these players pick 5 items each. Oh, look at that! The
one-way blocks.
Yes.
Yep, that's excellent.
It is. That's a good show. The lock gets tough. I'll say that right now because you have to find the key. If you forget where you put the key, you can't get to it. You can't get rid of the blocks yourself. You can use the hammer if you get stuck, but
we see both of them also going for spikes. So far, pretty similar drafts from the two. I'm wondering if they're just comfortable with those items or not. In fact,
look at that.
Only one real difference: the disappearing block or the sticky block.
Yeah.
So. Let's say strategically, how would you use a disappearing block versus a sticky block as you're building?
Sure. Right now in Maze, like this is the map that we got chosen right now. I'm not sure if there's going to be a lot of room for the sticky block. I will say one very interesting strategy that I saw last maybe 2 matches ago was you see those toxic barrels that are almost littered throughout the map. Mm-hmm. You can hide spikes behind them. So the spikes don't show, and you see somebody at this area. Let me see if I can just come in and show our viewers here. Look at that. See the spikes behind that cone right there?
Both players putting them there.
Both players went for it right off the bat. That's Braden in the blue, and that's Tommy building with the red. So if you see the outline around each, that's how we're going to distinguish who's building what. But yeah, that's a tough strategy to get to. And we see, so these are all the possible gem locations that we're looking at here. Will they spawn there? Maybe, maybe not. But they're going to give the players an idea of where to get to. And
we can see what Tommy and what Braden are building. Can they see what one another are building right now at this time?
Yeah, in Gem Race, they're building on the same map. So it's going to be the same. I like this idea right here with the one-way blocks. I'm going to see if I can get a closer look at that up at the top.
Which way can I go in those blocks? Can you show me? Can I come in from the top and then I'm stuck, or do I have to go?
I hope so, because otherwise we can't get in at all. So, I mean, I think that what's interesting is I think you might miss these spikes, and if you don't, you have to get the key. I don't know. Let's see if we can find the key for the red.
I believe I saw it down toward the green, in the bottom green area. There's a toxic barrel holding that key.
Here we go. We're going to take a look at that. Let's come in here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I mean, so you have to grab that.
That's a bit of a walk.
Yeah, it's a trip. See, this is part of Maze. This is part of Maze. It's going to be difficult. And then, look at this. I like this other. This was. They kind of work together on this. Like Tommy put these red up. Well, we can't really. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to get through the top. But anyway, from the sides you see Braden. That's pretty interesting. I like that. They're gonna have to use a hammer to get back out of it.
I see the blue key also hidden up in the yellow section behind the toxic barrel.
Okay, so
up there.
This toxic barrel is. It's behind it. So it's similar. I guess some of the barrels are different, depending on what clips behind and what comes out.
All right, we're about to get started. Jumping in.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to see who gets off to finding that first gem. Who gets off to the quickest start?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can get our colors here. Oh, look, green and dark green. We will figure out which one is which. But so both players taking a bottom route to begin. Let's see who grabs that red key. Did he grab that red key?
I think he might have grabbed that red key.
Because let's see who's red. That was supposed to be Tommy. So maybe Tommy's light green.
Braden is light green. It looks like.
Okay.
If Braden is our player 1, then Braden is light green.
All right, he did unlock the locks at the top.
So he just
for some reason I thought Tommy was supposed to be red.
Picked up by those
so
spikes.
That'd be okay.
There we go.
So we think tied up right now. We're not sure. We're still not sure who's who.
One gem apiece. That's what we do know. And here we go. Here's that rotate I was talking about earlier. Look. We have one of our players standing still. Yeah, our other player taking advantage of this time.
I'm just going to say dark green and light green for now. Dark green was opting for my strategy. Wait that thing out. Don't go for anything. We got 2 red gems here. All right. So players, right now, this is a zoomed out view. The gems right here. See how the limited path? They really need to come because these one-way gates are here over in the yellow section. Have to come all the way up, go over through red, and try to get down. But don't forget, there's a spike right here that's going to grab people. And if you do touch it from the side, it's still going to grab you. So you got to be very careful.
And we actually see Braden right now is making a run for it.
Sure.
Oh,
look at that! Look at that! Look, that's what I'm talking about. Sure.
Exactly.
So Braden brings things back, ties things up.
Which is great for Braden. He was moving for that bottom gem and then had it jump away on him. So it's nice that he was rewarded still.
Oh, here race to the third gem. Braden again. That's our just 17 seconds left now, and player 1 wins. Okay, so that's Braden taking our first. That score was at 2,000.
That was our first 4 gem. You were saying he got all 4 gems that round. You say you hadn't seen before.
Yeah,
so
I have not this season. I don't think I've seen that. So that is 2,000 because we got 4 gems. And we got 1,000 for Tommy. So Braden 2,000, Tommy 1,000. That was match 1.
That is, and that doesn't mean just because Braden jumped ahead on this one, Tommy is certainly still in this game, depending on the rest of these maps.
Sure.
But we will take a short break while we get the players back in the lobby again, and we will be back as soon as we're ready. All right, and we are back in the drafting phase. With Braden with a 1,000 point lead, which does equate to 2 gems in gem race. So Braden currently has a 2 gem lead over Tommy.
And Braden is player 1 for our purposes right now in the draft, and we have Tommy at player 2. Mm-hmm. Braden, fan and vacuum, and we have Tommy with just a fan. But still, both players didn't want to get rid of those spikes. Sidewalk Hustle, wow, that's a tough map. We didn't talk about that. Very hard map. You can build, and you can kind of see, if you look at Maze right above it right now, or the map we just played on, and then you look at Sidewalk, there's like a couple alternate paths you can get to if things are going wrong. You can't really do much if somebody builds something in a really tough area on Sidewalk.
You're right.
You can't go much higher.
It's a very horizontal level compared to the other ones.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree. So, I see that.
And we're gonna have to do some camera work here. We are at our limit, but look at all these gems. This would be a really good one to go for. That'd be great if that one spawned up. I'm just gonna
we have those spikes hidden though behind that cone to avoid.
Yeah, so exactly. So I think they clip. I don't see these red ones. I think they're in front of the red, but they're behind the yellow.
This is really interesting. I really actually like what Braden has put together here. With a very actually Mario-style wall jumping section with his spikes here, where you've got to move from the right to the left and back again in order to get up that path. Which is skill intensive, but so difficult, but not impossible, which I think is a really important key when you're building these levels.
I don't know if Braden's listening to this, but we have this one that's empty. So if we wall jump here, we can
just get right over this.
That's true. That's okay though. He'll know that, but Tommy won't. Right? So you kind of use what you built to your advantage, but like we talked about, we don't want to be too difficult.
I was going to say that was an interesting interaction. I'm not sure that'll happen there.
Tommy and Braden they're building like with each other. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. So I'm guessing that the fan enemy is going to blow the players in while the vacuum is sucking them. I'm not sure if that'll make them get sucked in twice as fast or not. We'll find out here in about 30 seconds or so.
Right. Let's see. It'd be interesting to see 2 fans. I'm just panning across because this is a sidewalk, so we need to look all the way. You know, the gem could be all the way down here. We don't know. We're gonna check out what the other players built in this area of the map. This is tough right here. This is a hard. Where's the key? It's inside here. So you got to come in, get the key, but you can't come back out. You got to use a hammer.
Yeah.
Because you can't come back out that one way. Wow.
So that's a strategic saving of a hammer. If a player is able to recognize that and hold on to that hammer for that red key.
If you go in there without a hammer left, you're done.
That is it.
There's no way out.
All right, so we're about to get started here.
Yep, sidewalk hustle. This is the first time I've seen this map this season.
I have not seen it yet either. I'm very excited.
All right. I guess they heard us. Ooh. Look at that. The spikes have been added to since we've looked at them.
We've got Braden jumping over a lot of the obstacles, getting out to the early lead toward the gem, which based on where they're moving, I'm thinking is all the way across.
Right. We don't have much more visibility. Here it is down here. He's going to need that red key.
That's what he's going for.
Wow. Okay, this is... Let's see how this is navigated right now. Braden's got a tough time. This is
he got in, and so he used it. Looks like he used one of his hammers there, based on the fact that he slid out of that ice.
Sure, I wonder if I'm messing it up, but yeah.
We had
now the gem's moved too. It's in another really tough situation.
Tommy grabbed a gem actually while we were watching Braden moving.
Yeah, did it change spots? Oh no, Tommy was just able to grab. I don't know. I didn't see that. Okay. Anyway, we're up.
Oh, Braden got it right ahead of Tommy,
and Braden's up by 2. So we need to see.
Ooh, they each grabbed that gem simultaneously, which was really interesting. I had not seen that before either.
Wow.
So that does still keep Braden two gems ahead.
Yeah. So right now, if we see Tommy go ahead and grab 2 more.
Ooh, I think that might have been a tactical death from Braden there, taking the death to get closer to where the gem had spawned, which I think was an excellent strategy there from Braden.
Oh, absolutely. And he's also going to have a good position on the next one, right inside those blue lock boxes. That key is in a really difficult place to grab, but...
Oh, there we go. We saw what happened. Okay, players get pushed out to the side pretty quickly.
They were able to navigate it. Someone got the key
that's
tied up.
Huge grab for Tommy. Yeah. He really needed that gem before the end of this round. That was big. Keeps it a lot closer.
We'll take a look at Tommy, see if he's able to grab
this 4th gem.
And look at it. He's going to be able to do it if he just jumps down. No, come back up. 5.
You got it.
4.
You can do it.
Yes, he can. All right.
Another 4 gemmer. Wow.
That's awesome.
So these players these players are bringing their A game.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 4 gems in a row. That's incredible, considering we hadn't seen that at all this season so far.
Right. So Tommy cuts the lead in half.
They're building. Yeah, that's true. Only 1 gem lead for Braden now. We're going to jump to a quick break, and we will be right back with our final match.
Third and final draft.
And we only have a 1 gem margin, so it's about as slim can be, and it's anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, it's anyone's game right now. Could end up with a tie, potentially.
It's very true. When we go to an exciting we get to go to a tiebreaker, which we
have to do something. We can't leave it just at
based on the way these guys are playing. I'm kind of hoping for that tie. I want that tie. I want more Sembly. I want to be able to see these players some more, because the strategies they've employed have been smart. Their mechanics are really well. So this is a good lesson for people who want to learn how to play Sembly. This is a great example.
Absolutely. Flamethrower. Have not seen that item all season either. That's a great pick up there by Tommy. I see the one-way gates getting chosen, and I see the spikes. Those are like staples.
Similar drafts. Well. Similar drafts.
Good map.
Power plant? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we're at plant right now.
So what can you tell me about this map? What do we've had a maze map where you're locked in, and no vertical, all horizontal. So how does this one differ from those?
You got a little taste of everything right now. And I apologize, this is factory we're at right now. But you see the pipes on the bottom left. You get a little taste of that. It's still not completely open like Toxic is, but it will give players more freedom, especially for those wall jumps that we were talking about before. It'll give them a little bit more ability to maybe use those flamethrowers. If someone did take a launcher, you could put a launcher up here in this top area. Let's see if I show you. If you could put it maybe at this top square, launch yourself really far across the map quickly.
Interesting.
If gems over there,
it would help you avoid this middle section. It looks like it's like wide open, so it's like really easy to fall toward the bottom if you start in that area, you end up in that middle area without much to work with.
Yeah, the map also sports these unique edges. See this almost like 45-degree angle?
Yeah.
Edges here. You don't really see that in Sembly at other maps. Not sure how that's going to affect the wall jumps if a player actually jumped into the bottom or tried to place something. So it's an interesting dynamic. I guess players wouldn't see that very often. But
Looks like both players hiding their keys toward the bottom. The blue key down behind one of the barrels in the bottom right. The red key in the bottom left.
This is pretty tough. This is pretty hard to get to. If someone needed easy access to that, because that's Braden's, right? If Braden needed easy access to that key, that's going to be not in a great spot.
No, well, I've noticed there's holes on this map too. We didn't have any holes to fall in on sidewalk. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how players handle that. And we saw, I believe it was Braden use that tactical death last match to get that gem faster. So
yeah. It was it was a good move. You can also, we talked about this before, the mechanics of the game, if you actually get struck by an item and you're about to respawn, in that split second you can actually get a gem. So if it's maybe like a bat or something flying that's going to really restrict you, you can still go ahead and get that gem potentially.
Both of them grabbing that key.
Look at those flamethrowers.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that used before either yet. I actually sort of like the thematic idea of putting the flamethrower right near the ice. I think that was pretty neat.
First gem.
Right there to Tommy, so that we're tied up right now.
Both players take a tumble. And we're on the climb.
They're once again they seem to understand the idea of following one another to try and get to those gems.
Yeah, exactly.
So
here's Braden. Braden could be able to get this. Right now we're tied. If Braden gets this, we will be back in the lead, and he does. Slow-mo kind of helps.
I was going to say the slow-mo looked like it helped with that timing.
Yeah, it looked like it helped with that jump a little bit. Let's see what that next gem is. Well, we got a couple seconds. All the players are slowed down a bit. Oh, is it up? Is it up in the hidden spot? All right, so let me see this. Do we have a key? Are we using? Okay, that was using a hammer.
Yep, we did have the key. Was down and hidden.
Oh, look at that! Another gem right below. That's going to extend the lead over to Braden.
That's also the first time I've seen a gem get... Wow. Braden. Light on fire that last round.
Just out of nowhere. That was too quick for us to even comprehend what happened. Right. It was like 3 gems, right?
I was going to mention that was the first time I'd seen a gem worth more than 500 points. He had a weird score there, but then before I could even say anything, he took that 4th gem. So that would make Braden our champion.
Yeah, so we've been doing pretty good with the math back and forth through these 3 games. We got it, we think. So we got Braden up. How was it? By 3? You think he won by 4? Maybe 3, 4 gems?
4, I believe, at the end.
4 gems?
4 at the end.
So we had Braden by 4. Once again, I just want to say thank you to everyone over at Mercer County Community College. We had a great time casting this over here today.
And a big congratulations to both of our players here, as well as the other players in that class who played in the tournament before being on stream.
Yeah.
I do also want to say that, once again, if you want to take part in our Sembly tournament, we actually have a weekend tournament this weekend that actually starts at midnight tonight. You can log into blackrocket.com/esports, play Sembly, log into your Sembly account, and you'll accumulate points either through single player or playing against other people online. The person with the highest total actually wins a prize at the end of the weekend, so that's pretty exciting.
Yep. And if you want to see more of us or more of this match, all the highlights are going to get uploaded to our YouTube channel, BRP Clips at YouTube. That's all for me.
Yeah, I just want to say once again, thank you to our players. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week during our streams next week.
Yep. Have a good weekend, guys.